Hello, everybody. Thank you for your time. Just a quick presentation to help guide you through the game day process. For those of you that are new to the soccer program, this is just a pyramid of where we fit within the soccer world in the United States. FIFA at the top, obviously the governing body for all soccer in the world. Under that, we have US soccer, responsible obviously for all soccer that goes on within the United States. Underneath there, we have the four main organizations that run youth soccer. The first one being US Youth Soccer, that's where we fall under. We are Region 1 within that organization, and the area of Region 1 that we're responsible for is Eastern New York. They put into place the rules and guidelines for us as a member of Long Island Junior Soccer League. Some of the other organizations that you may have heard of or you may be aware of in the area, MPL, that's the organization that runs the ECNL leagues. As an outline of the soccer program in Manhasset, we have pre-K and K program that we call the Little Chiefs. We have our U7 and U8 program, which we call the Warrior program. And then we start our travel program at U9. U9s and U10s, we practice twice a week for 75-minute sessions. Attendance is obviously very important because they're in their formative years of development. We want to take advantage of them. And the main focus is on individual growth within a team setting. As they get older, the teams are going to obviously change as children choose other sports or have other commitments. So teams will change, the roster sizes increase, and we eventually end up with one team per age group. So it's important that every player gets an ample amount of individual growth rather than training a team specifically, because the roles within those teams will change as the teams change. For game day preparation, and this is important for all coaches that are new, everybody will have access to a full fixture list for the season provided by Long Island Junior, and either sent directly to you or sent to you through our registrars at the club. This document has excuse me, all our home games and all your away games and the dates and times of the games with locations. When we have a home game, or when you're scheduled to have a home game, it's important that you contact the opponents that you're playing for the week. So contact them at the beginning of the week. Let them know the confirmed time of the game, the field location address, so they can give it to their parents, and what color jersey you'll be wearing so they can avoid any clash of colors. You then also have to contact the referee. Each game is assigned a referee, and again, that information will be given to you via the league, Long Island Junior Soccer League. It's important that you contact the referee to confirm that he has directions and he's going to be there. Sometimes the referee may be on the field for 3, 4, 5 games consecutively, so he may have already been in contact with the game that's prior to yours, but it's always recommended that you double check, because sometimes a different referee will come to the field and take over, so it may not be the same referee. You also then have to contact your own players, let them know an arrival time to arrive at the field and what color jersey they should bring. Bear in mind, they should always bring both jerseys to every game anyway, in the event that something happens and you need to change color at the last second. Arrival time, it's always important that you get your team there well in advance of the game. We recommend at least 30 minutes so the players can warm up and you can all meet, so you don't have players running over the field at the last seconds before the game, because the referees do need to check the players in, check the safety equipment, cards, and set the game up appropriately. So please make sure that you make a point of telling the players that they need to arrive in advance of the actual kickoff time, sorry. If you're the away team, the home team will contact you with that information. You obviously would still need to contact your players and let them know an arrival time, directions to the field, and what color jerseys to bring. In the event you need to reschedule the game, you must contact the league coordinator assigned to your division and include the opposing coach on all correspondence. And game changes need to be mentioned 16 days in advance, so you really need to look well in advance to see if there's any potential problems. Problems can normally be aided because every player in the grade has a team pass, so we can borrow players from other teams should you need extra in the event that you'll be short for a week. So if you let me know, Tom Smith, Director of Coaching at ManchesterSoccer.com, we can always find extra players, whether they be in your grade or whether we ask players from the grade below that are showing promise that they can then play up and help fill out your roster for that particular game. In the event you do need to reschedule the game, you have to agree upon a new date and time with the opposing coach. Sometimes involves a lot of back and forth. And then you must contact, or before you've agreed on the date and time, you have to contact Conchetta because she is in charge of all the field permits. So we have to make sure, A, we have a permit for the newly selected date and time, and B, nobody else is using the field at that time. So we get to game day now. The players have arrived 30 minutes before. These are the things you need to make sure that you have present with you. You need to make sure that you have all the player passes for all the players that are on your roster, and in addition, any players that you have borrowed from another team in the grade or from the grade below. So you would need to have their player pass with you also. You need to have 2 copies of the roster. You can print this off, but always print off 2 copies because the opposing team gets a copy. The trainer will be at the game. The trainer's responsibility, if they are there in advance, which we hope they are, then they will warm up the team and prepare them for the game. Sometimes the trainers are coming from another game and travel time doesn't allow them to be there in advance of the game. So you would be responsible in that case to make sure that the players were running around, dribbling, had a little pass and move before the game starts, so they were ready to go. The trainer's roles and responsibility during the game are really to guide the players and educate them in making good decisions on the field. We're not there to tell the players what to do. We're there to reinforce the good decisions they make and not reinforce the bad decisions that they make. The trainer will speak to the players before the game and outline what he or she wants to see, and then they'll speak to them again at half time with a quick recap of the first half and what they want to see in terms of playing for the second half. It's important that all players get equal playing time at the younger ages, specifically U9, U10, U11. When we start to get U12 and above, playing time can be more of a reward for effort and attendance at practice. As they get older, those things obviously come into play more. But at the younger ages, it's important that everybody gets equal playing time. It's also important that they try, again, I'm referring to the younger ages, that they try and play all positions on the field. We don't want to pigeonhole players at such a young age to a specific position. They haven't developed physically or cognitively enough for them to decide upon one position. Their bodies could change. One day they're fast, the next day everybody else has caught them up. So the skills that they had at U9, U10 are maybe not as applicable at U12 and U13. So we want them to become fully rounded, complete players before we start giving them specific roles. At U11 and U12, we do start to narrow down all positions to maybe 2 or 3, and then U12 and above, when we get to that stage, they really are focusing on one position, maybe with another position that they're good at, that they also help the team at. But before they get to that age, we want them to play every position possible. At the end of the game, if you're the home team, you're responsible for submitting the scores on the Long Island Junior website. You just click on the tab, and then you would log in and submit the scores there. You're also required to grade the referee, which can be a lot of fun. U9 and U10 travel games look like this. They play 7 against 7, 6 outfield players and 1 goalkeeper. We tend to rotate the goalkeeper unless there's a player that really loves playing goalkeeper, then they tend to get one half in the goal and then one half on the field. But for the most part, where players haven't acknowledged that they would like to focus on goalkeeper, we rotate it every game, 2 different goalkeepers every game, so everybody has a turn. At the U9 and U10 travel level, there is a build-out line, which is normally about 20 yards from the goal line, and this line is positioned there to allow the team in possession to have time to bring the ball up the field. No opposing players are allowed past this line until the team in possession of the ball has taken a second touch. So if the goalkeeper has the ball and plays it to a player within that line, as soon as they have taken a touch, because now our team has had 2 touches within that zone, the opposing team is now allowed into that zone to try and steal the ball. But before that second touch, they have to stay behind that build-out line. This has been placed by the league or by US Soccer as a mandate to try and increase players' touches and allowing them to play without fear. It's honestly had mixed results as the years have gone. Some teams using it to help develop their players, other teams trying to take advantage of the new rule by camping around the build-out line and then ball rushing our players that have possession of the ball. So whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, we're undecided, but the fact is it's a rule and it's something we have to adhere to. We play under Long Island Junior Soccer League program, so we pay them registration fees. In return, we get insurance, and we're allowed to play in their competitions. It's obviously Long Island based, so travel is more convenient. We have played under other banners in the past, and it required more traveling to games, which seemed unnecessary. Roster size at these ages are determined by the amount of players that want to play. We don't limit the roster. We won't cut any players. Anybody who wants to play is more than welcome to come and play. We are a community club at the end of the day. Practice philosophy at this age is play, practice, play philosophy. We want our players to be experiential learners. What we believe that they learn from doing. We don't limit their creativity and tell them what to do. We allow them to be independent, critical thinkers and problem solvers as they go. We believe this is the best way to reinforce the skills that they learn. It's what the players want, and it's been proven through research, and it's fun. Game day philosophy at these ages, yes, winning is nice, and we want to win. We play to win. We always set our players out to win the game. That's the ultimate goal because it is competition after all, but it's not the end goal. if we lose the game, which we will, because we are trying to develop and we will make mistakes at the younger ages, and those mistakes will be punished by opposing teams. But the development is the ultimate goal. So the players, we want them to get as many touches on the ball as possible, make some good decisions, and learn from the bad ones. Our successes are measured in individual growth, skills, decision making, and playing without fear rather than the scores of the game. In terms of starting shape for seven-a-side, at the bottom here we have a goalkeeper. Typically, we'd then have two CDs, which stands for central defenders, that will play in front of the goalkeeper. In front of them, three midfielders, a left midfielder, a right midfielder, and a centre midfielder. And then in front of them, a forward. It's important to remember that although we have defined defenders, midfielders, and attackers, everyone is responsible for attacking. Everybody is responsible for defending. So when we attack with 6 players. When we defend with 6 players plus a goalkeeper, 7 players.